Hello all, can you guys hear me okay? Yes, cheese and crackers. Let me know if you can hear okay. I'm back in the closet office, though no face cam today. Hello all, can you guys hear me okay? Yep, and I can hear my browser, so I'm gonna close that, or at least mute my tab. That is what we are going to do. Why would I have a second window of myself opened up? Insane. All right, so we are going to play What Remains of Edith Finch today. Hopefully, the game is. We'll turn the music up in a little while, but I just want to give everybody a fair warning that the beginning of the game is very, very, very loud. And it's intended to be startling in that way. So just, gird your ears or whatever. We'll turn the audio back up once the game starts. I'm going to play this with a controller because playing it with keyboard and mouse will give everybody kind of like motion sickness because it's a bit too much. Again, hopefully y'all can hear. The stream is good. And let me pull up my audio really quick so that when it's time to make that switch, we can do it kind of fast. Okay. Oh, well, that's because the game is on wavelength system. So let's turn that down just a touch. Just a touch. Okay. So let's go ahead on. Let's get started. We're going to do a new game. Like I said, if you need to turn your volume down some more, do it. Because it's about to pop off. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. New game. Okay, that wasn't too loud, was it, y'all? Hopefully it wasn't. We'll turn it back up. Just a little bit in the system. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud. All right, back at it. Okay, so I've played this before, y'all, just fair warning. I feel like it's even better when you watch somebody play it for the first time, and so I encourage you all to play it as well because playing it for yourself is a very different experience. The game is also about, 2 hours long, and we're going to take a break somewhere in the middle. All right, let's rock.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Y'all, look at how pretty this game is. It's gonna be creepy. And I will let you know that this game has a lot of people dying in it. It's not gory, but it is about death. And there's a lot of it. Let me change one more thing real quick. I'm gonna turn myself off. Like, I'm gonna switch back, to my monitor mix. Okay. That way, I'm not listening to myself. Okay, fun. Hopefully it
I lived
sounds
here until
okay.
I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Look in the background. That's the house that they lived in. Look at this. Like, would you live in this? Like, they're literally in the middle of nowhere. And it looks like a mountain. I mean, it's also really pretty too. But again, like I said last stream, she don't do wildlife. I would die out here.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
She said, hell no. But look, like, can you imagine? So I know, in parts of the West Coast or whatever, there aren't bugs. There are bugs here. There is every bug known to man.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Look at this. And then imagine driving over this. There are no guardrails. There is nothing. Like, you just out here. They got cameras and whatnot. But look at this road. Like, I know.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Yeah, I'm worried about the bugs. The
Maybe
ghosts,
she thought I'd
too.
know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
All right, y'all. We got a road diversion in the woods. We can go left or we can go right. She said, I'm worried about Bigfoot. Me too. All of it. I'm worried about Bigfoot. I'm worried about bugs. I'm worried about snakes. I'm worried about ghosts. I'm worried about zombies. Because if a zombie apocalypse is kicking off, it's kicking off out here. This is going to be The Walking Dead. I don't want it. Okay, but let's decide. We're going to go left, which is like down into that, or we're going to go right, which is like a halfway paved path. What y'all think? I don't know. I'm feeling a little adventurous. But let me know. I'm going to let y'all decide. I kind of want to go right. Let's go right. Let's see what we got on the right side. Neither. We're going to go right. Let's see what's right. And look, I'm walking slow. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's still creepy as hell. Man, it's creepy. Oh, let's be adventurous? Okay, hold on. Let's turn around. We're going to go back. We're going to be adventurous. Okay, we're being adventurous. Let's go back. We can turn back around and change our minds. So let's go be adventurous. All right. Lord. Okay. Ain't no more guardrails. They said, baby, you are on your own. With all the poison ivy and poison oak and the ferns and the dinosaurs and Nessie, Bigfoot, the creature from the Black Lagoon, they all live here. Got to. They got, look at the little flyer of her brother. Child. Okay, let's keep walking.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
And the frogs and the frogs. Oh, and the frogs.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent.
Look at the deer. Look.
As if they're about to say something, but never do.
I never saw the deer from down here. Look at this thing. Look at this.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Can you imagine? Even in its nicer days. Just, ooh.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Let's get a good look at this dragon-shaped slide. Wow. And more brother flyers all over the place.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
I don't want to explorate everything else yet. And tell me if I'm talking too much. I love a wind chime. Let me just say that. I love a wind chime. On a patio or a balcony, I need it. It is a requisite. It's so peaceful.
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
Ooh, what was that?
Something moving around in the garage.
Ooh, wait a minute, wait. I'm acting like I ain't played this before. I haven't touched this game in like a year and a half or 2 years, so I haven't played it in a while. I've forgotten some stuff. Whoa. You have stuff moving around in the garage like that?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Look at that. Okay, the garage says she got something to say, so let's go talk to her. Get no handle on her. So I'm assuming I saw a little cat flap on the door. I'm assuming. I know we can get through the cat flap. But let's immerse and act like I didn't know that. How about that?
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I thought she left when she was 10, or was that her brother?
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Okay, she was 11 when they moved out. Let's keep that in mind. There's things to remember that she's going to tell us that we need to make sure we keep in mind. Look at all this stuff. And they left this house with all this stuff in it, including a car. You know what kind of privilege you have to just leave a house and everything in it? That's actually a good vacuum cleaner. Fishing poles. Let's see. Coat racks. Edie, Dawn, Lewis, Milton, Edith.
For the first time in years.
And they left in 2010. So just so you know, this game came out in 2017. So I guess that accounts for the time between them leaving and coming back.
I felt like I was home.
Those flies?
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
So here we go. We have Dawn, Edith, Edie, I guess is the grandmother, who is the grandmother, and then Lewis, her brother. And here she is losing another brother. The other one just disappeared. And Lewis died in November, and they left in January, so they were only here a few months later after he was gone. 1988 to 2010. All the books. It was a big family, but you got to have this many dishes. I say that in complete judgment, as I have like place sittings for 16, and it's just like me and my house and maybe a few guests from time to time.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
I mean, books everywhere. And are they all cookbooks? Some of them. Yes, surprisingly clean for an abandoned house. That's
or how
true.
After Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
A lot of salmon. Wait, that's another stove. I never noticed that. They just keep stuff. I wonder how it's a stupid question, but I wonder how it smells. Because, you know, like books have a particular smell, and then old houses just smell like dust because stuff doesn't move a lot. I would just
imagine. The table was
imagine.
Still a wreck from the night we left.
Wine on the floor.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Look at that. That would be really pretty to vacation around. I would not want to live here. Not right on the water like that.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
So this is their last meal. These little sounds. I forgot about these little sounds in the background. Y'all freaking me out. Now, I gotta ask, since she was 11 when they left, why are they giving this girl a child's play setting? I have issues with this. Y'all are infantilizing this girl. And then she gonna walk right on the chair. Come on, Edith.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
I mean, that's really pretty. And look at the, like, Tiffany windows and the transoms. Like, look at this. This is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then you see the rest of it, and this is a little bit of a mess. I would like this in my house, though. Really high bookshelves. With the books that I was storing in the closet office, I could probably fill that up on my own right now. All right, let's keep going. And didn't I tell you, wildlife? I bet you they call all that right outside. Look at this. We all gonna die. A whole hornet's nest just hanging out in the house. I'm not here for it.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Yeah, definitely antique dust and mold. Sans mold, I bet you it smells good in there, though. Because I like the smell of an old book. I do. And more bugs. More bugs. These pterodactyl bugs.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Yeah, girl, we gonna die. Look at these bugs. They can't just come for me. They coming for y'all, too. Yeah, baby, they had money. They had money. Instruments, spare ovens, more books than the Library of Congress. Oh, look at the clock. The clock is pretty. November 2010. On this calendar, so that's when Lewis died. That's when they all, I guess they all just kind of stopped doing stuff. I don't know. Or they just left in November. January was the last time they went into the garage, I guess. They were packing.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Okay, so now we're at the front door, and we can see what she was looking in on, which is this pretty light fixture. I'm gonna stop talking about the house, but I used to be a real estate writer at one time. I've had 1,070 jobs like a Jamaican. Y'all gotta excuse me. And more books.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Everything got left behind. And look at all the mail on the floor. How did I never notice that? At the same time, didn't they have a mailbox before you got here? like at the entrance. So you have mail left at the door, mail in the mailbox, and I wonder if anybody ever bothered to come into the house. Cause if I were home girl, like I don't know if I would just be coming in here. Wait a minute, look at the banister. The birds on the banister. Is that a little model of the house? Wait a minute. What is that? Let me look, gang. I guess not. But again, more books. Lots of pictures. Let's go upstairs.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Okay, we know where she wants us to go. Oh, let's look around a little bit more. Look at this. Look at this. So pretty. And that's the bricks from the old house. Man, this is pretty. Let's come down here again. No. And then more. No. That must be Edie. Who's she pregnant with? Barbara, 1944
Barbara
to
was a
1960.
child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
It's an interesting room.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
The mutton chops are muttoning.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Barbara was that girl.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay, we got a little prompt. What is this? Look at the wine. Let's check out the wine. What y'all got? Orange tabby wine. Interesting. Okay, Edie drilled some peepholes in retaliation. More books. Pretty pictures. Bugs. We're not doing the bugs. Y'all go away. What is that? Snakes? Sticks? Again with the bugs. Sven and Edie. Sven Hofstad Finch. Y'all ain't gonna let me read it.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Would she have to put a peephole in her own room, though? She caulked up all the doors real good. Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Look at that floor. That's the 70s if ever I saw it.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
It's What Remains of Edith Finch. Sorry, I need to keep an eye on the chat or do a better job. Both. Calvin, 1950 to 1961. And she said her grandfather spent 7 years sharing a bedroom with his dead brother. That's some shit for your nerves. Okay. Yo. Check out Odin. Pretty princess over here. Molly, 1937 to 1947.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
All right. Great Aunt Molly. What is that, a candle? A vase? More bugs. Get away from me. And we got an open door. Look at this. Pretty.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
That must be the house. Look. The Finches. Never saw that before. That is the house. So she recreated that sign because that was out on the tree. And all the fish and the sharks. Okay.
He always told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Come on, manicure. Look.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Pretty stained glass. Look how pretty that is.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
So this is Molly's room. And we are in Homegirl's closet. A whole little plant. Y'all couldn't come and water her plants though?
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
Like, imagine this being your room in the 1930s or 40s, and here she goes. This is the one with the bugs, coming and grabbing the bugs and mounting them in the hallway. Ocean depth chart. Bamboo. I wonder where she got the bamboo from. Maybe she was a scientist. She's got a little girl, I'm about to call it a stethoscope, a telescope, a microscope. You know words. December 1947. Got a little trunk. Cute little bed. They were fancy. They were either
I grew up
crafty.
looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Oh, her room must be on the other side of the fireplace. That's fun. Molly.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Uh-oh.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
I think those are gerbil droppings as well, and I don't think that's safe, Sistren.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Just wait for it.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Poor Christopher, he ain't asked for that. You monster. And she had an ensuite bathroom in the 40s? Baby, y'all was living large. People barely had one bathroom in their home.
I ate a lot of things that night.
And that is real Holly. It's the 40s, y'all. That's real Holly. Which is not good to eat.
I kept eating and eating.
And now we got fluoride added to the mix. Fun, fun, fun.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Ooh, I haven't played this up close in so long. This is freaky.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Where did she go? Look at that. And yeah, this girl is a whole cat. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking around being nosy. I'm being nosy. I'm being nosy. And you just gonna keep going. That's the nest.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Let me know if y'all getting a little motion sickening. Can I go get the nest though? I never tried to go get the nest. Oh snap. Give me them birdies. Oh no, I can't go over there. Wait a minute. Oh. It's an adventurous cat.
I jumped and I almost got her.
You almost got her a few times.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
She is hungry. Do you hear me? So want to eat a bird? Girl, you are starving. And don't y'all like birds and stuff?
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
I see you. Come here.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
I hear her. I hear
A
her.
mama rabbit.
Get over here. So cruel. I'm
She
sorry.
was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Yes, we are a land shark. Yep. Ooh, Lord. Forgot how hard it is to get up out of here. Here we go. Wait a minute. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, we can't swim, so we got to get out of here somehow.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
I had it. I had that seal. Gimme.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Where'd you go?
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Not that quiet. This is so gross.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
about that quiet. Well, look at the bird, like, guiding us to the destruction.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
My worst nightmare. Do you hear me?
I got closer and closer.
Ugh, listen to that squelching. Ugh.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
That was a lot. Look, y'all, it's so
This will be obvious
pretty.
later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
Yeah.
So, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
It's correct. Molly went through some things before she passed to the great beyond. She went through a thing or two. And on the bird thing, so yeah, my grandparents are from the country too, and my grandfather always talked about wanting to eat the pigeons that were outside their house, but that's very, very illegal. He would always say, "That's good eating. You going to jail, sir. Leave him alone."
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Again with the books. Lots of bird cages. What is that? That's a frog. Rob. Lurpy. Purply. Zerpy. Perpy. Derpy. What kind of bird that is? You don't have a name. Bob is a whole snake. Oh, his little stuff is a little tighter. I imagine it was. And Burpee. Can't move.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Another one of them bomb-ass clocks. Molly, Barbara, Calvin and Sam, Walter, 1955, Dawn, 1970, Gus, 1971, Gregory, 1977, Lewis, 93, Milton in 95, and Edith in 2004.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
So let's take a pause real quick. I have a question for everybody in the chat. Okay. Odin is Edie, the great-grandmother's father, right? Sven is Edie's husband, right? Odin's last name is Finch, but Edie's last name is still Finch. What man in the 30s or 20s or whenever they got married is letting a woman keep her father's name or keep her maiden name? I have questions about Edie and Sven. And I'm going to leave it right there. Look, she got a little perfume with all her mitts.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
See, Sven Finch, built in 1937. I got questions. I need
Edie
answers.
told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Look at the schematics for the house. Wedding pictures. Dragon kills Finch. That is a damn good headline. But also, who got that moment on film? That's a hell of a picture.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Norwegian folk tales. She liked her stories. Deepest sympathy. Oh, and here we have the 70s bathroom. Look at this. Gross. Gross. carpet in a bathroom. Gross.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Maybe it was modern for the time. What? What the wine? Where did the wine come from? Edie couldn't stand up. And look, she got the picture of the house sinking with her father. Her father is sinking in that picture with the house. What?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
And all of those were individual controls on the controller. It is fun to figure this out. Seriously, y'all should play it.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Calvin Finch, born April 25th, 1951, died September 23rd, 1961, or 50. I can't read. I need glasses. I have them and I'm not wearing them. Oh, that might be clearer. Nope, it's not. At all. Barbara Finch. Whole lot of prints. Murder probe, clues examined. Couple turns land into native haven. I never stopped to read those. More bottles. Milton been hanging out. Some cans. Somebody been getting their drink on. Tough. Again with the neat bedrooms. Fort Sam. How? It's like bleak and murderous and kind of like hot and angry on that side. And then Calvin is like optimistic and looking at the stars and stuff into the future.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Oh. His marks end in 1961. Yep, September 1961.
And that he never talked about him.
This is a dope fucking room.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
(1950 to 1961). Excuse me, Calvin.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
All right, here's the freaky part. We are controlling the swing.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he
But
wasn't.
look, he's got a broken
I
leg,
think Calvin always wanted to fly.
all this stuff on his arm.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Oh, I hate the
I told him
rumble.
going around was impossible.
Oh,
Maybe if I hadn't said that,
and I'm feeling every bit of this in the controller. Oh,
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
ooh.
I think he'd already made up his mind.
Oh, I'm
That's
starting to
what
get
I wanna
motion
remember
sick.
about my brother.
Ooh.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Same, but I couldn't imagine succeeding. Oh, that made me feel sick. And I've played this before. Yikes. Okay.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Again, this man spent 7 years in this room after his brother died.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
I bet he didn't. Would you? He got close because he was. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not trying to go over there. He got close because he was over here drinking, smoking, and chilling in between the walls. Again, cool shit. That's scary.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Right by her, the neck of whatever that is.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Because she was a child star. What else was she? That's dope too. But kind of what a waste of space though. I mean, this is cool. Like a cute little altar to your career, but she had a doll. She won some awards. She has a print of her film. Some merch. Fan mail, I guess. Like a lobby standee. I mean, okay, so Barbara made it at least
Never
to the
thought about how
60s.
hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Is that my reflection? Am I moving in that? Nope. Barb Street. She went to see a lot of plays, or maybe she was in them too. Go Fly, Kiki. Oh, Barbara was drinking too. Wait a minute. Look at the popcorn. Like Edie left this room and she was smoking. Wait a minute. She was like teenagery based on her birthday oh wow. Happy birthday, Barbara. And you just left this here. Y'all are nasty. I take back what I said about the smell. It's all mold. Look at the floor. That's straight up mold. Look. Now I'm noticing stuff.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is the basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Okay, so again, y'all, I'm playing this part in the comic book.
She listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Don't copyright strike me, YouTube. Don't do it.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ooh, forgot. What? 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 What else can I hit? Let's hit things. Yeah. Happy clean. Not no more. Get out. Look at this.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Ooh, look at that blood. What was you working on, Sven? Big old pieces of...
Fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
That's so satisfying.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
Exactly,
She
ma'am.
threw out
Exactly.
a little something to remember him by.
Barb,
Have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Hell no. Hell no. And she's still going. As if I'm not controlling it, but still, I would have been gone. I would have been gone.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
All right, girl, let's go. Let's go, Barbara. Let's go.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Her Mary Janes are kind of cute. They almost look like lyrical shoes.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow.
He didn't hear that? Ooh.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over
Yeah,
yet.
we know how this works. As soon as you turn around. I can't move no faster than this. Watch this. Of course. Of course. Of course.
Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
I'm really sitting up here hesitating like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Door was dying to speak to young Barbara.
Mm.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Y'all.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous.
That's scary.
Her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Okay, so hey, we've been touching the music. We touched the music box that had the ear in it. Our aunt's ear or great aunt. I don't know. It was somebody's ear was in that thing. Also, I find it mighty strange that Rick just up and disappeared the same day. And he was her biggest fan. Was he faking? And he killed this girl, and then they were like, oh, there were some monsters who came and got her. Rick did it. Domestic violence. That's what it was. I shouldn't make fun of that. I'm not making fun of that. But still, Rick was a creep.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
I wouldn't either. Gross. And look how dark it is now. Not that there was a ton of light, but I guess the time is changing. I guess. I don't know why I keep saying that. The time is changing. Stop acting like you don't know what's happening in this game. It's dark as hell up in here, though. Alright, let's touch this nasty music box that somebody's ear was in. Let's keep winding and winding and winding. Ooh, let's go in the serial killer basement. Why not? Nothing can happen to us. Our great aunt's psycho boyfriend was hiding down here, and our great great grandfather just like sliced open his hand. But hey, nothing to be scared of. This house is groaning.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
You need all the tetanus shots in this house. Look at the little dragon slide model. It would have been cool if it had stood up. He made it a little too high, I guess.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
This is a big basement. Look at that. That's all basement over there, too. Imagine if they'd finished it. They would have a whole other house.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh, yes, she was. Baby, the money, the money, the money, the money, the money.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Ooh, it's dark.
She
Wait.
said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Honey, the money. The money. And I get it's the 1950s and people had
all these stories.
bomb shelters and stuff, but damn, this is a lot of money.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Let me look around a little bit. Walter. Man had a toilet, his sink, and a shower all in one. That is not a life. Yeah, why couldn't he wash his dishes in this sink? Or maybe he just had them drying in the shower. Maybe that's it. Shaving cream. Spain. Mexico, China, France, India, Thailand, Brazil. Somebody traveled. 2005. Damn. Got his exercise at least. He had a hobby. Oh, they just moved his bed up here. Dang, so he slept in his childhood bed all this time. Man. 1952 to 2005. He got down here in the 60s.
Goodbye, everyone.
Ooh.
I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
I forgot the controls.
That's what kept me
You
sane.
have to wind the can opener.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
1976.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
That's so cool.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
Listen to the music change.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Again, the money, because this thing goes even deeper. How do you even do this?
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly
Look at his trash.
and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
And Walter's your mole man. Ooh.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
I never thought about the fact that he liked trains so much. And that's the thing that kind of like took him out. And he didn't even see it coming.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Oh, before we go down this path, what are y'all thinking about the game so far? Everybody just got real quiet.
Or maybe 2. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
You got quiet to pray. Baby, pray for Walter. Look at this. Wow. He pulled up a railroad tie. Wow. So the train just went off the side of the mountain? Oh, it went over there. I never looked before to see where it was supposed to go. Got it. Okay, now I don't know where I am because it's very dark outside. Look at the moon and the stars. How pretty. Man, this game is pretty. Okay, shut up.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Look at this big thing. It's like something out of the Wiz. It's so weird.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Who's at the bottom there? I guess that's Molly. And then Barbara, because there's a crutch. Lights still come on. Oh, that's freaky. There's the sewer pipe. Calvin on his swing. They have this man on the swing.
And the history you're a part of.
Oh, maybe that's Molly, Calvin, Barbara, and Walter is at the bottom because he's hiding, I guess. Look how pretty.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Lights still coming on. I guess it must be solar lights or something. I thought there was like a train bell or something. There's something in the water.
Had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness.
Look at this monstrosity.
Any of it seems possible.
Calvin swing. The big tree, I guess.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Girl, how?
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
There go the birds, the frog, and the snake. Then we got Lucy, who lived a good long life. Daisy, who lived a long life. Charlie, Tucker, who didn't live long. Coco didn't live long. Zoe lived a long time. We got rabbits. We got fish. Yikes. Bailey. Bailey was a frog or a dog?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly. Also, look. Calvin. We saw a picture of that. Sven was a saw. Edie, December 5th, 2010. She's got a book. Walter. That's so cool. Barbara has her star.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
That's Molly in his hand. Molly the baby, not the drug. And there's Odin.
You could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
So Sam, 1950 to 83. So that's her dad. Gus, 1969 to 1982, her brother. Who, and saddest of all, Gregory, 1976 to 1977. So let me warn y'all now. Yes, there have been children dying throughout this game, but as you can see, we have a 1-year-old. And yes, we are going to play through his sequence as well. It is not gory or anything like that, but it is incredibly sad. So if that is something that's going to bother you, I will give, well, you'll see the heads up once we get there. And if you're feeling away, bow out and come back. And I will leave it there.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Okay, Lewis is the last one. Sanjay Kumar, 1966 to 2002. And then Milton.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I would not trust this in 1,000 years. How long they been gone from this house? And I mean, you just a climbing.
Back on it now. If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Yep, you heard her right. Oh, y'all ain't gonna let me pause. But when we get here, did you see her tummy? Yep. Let's keep rolling. Yep.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
God, Grandpa Sam had a fire pit way up here and propane. Grandpa Sam didn't give a damn. He was just gonna blow up his part of the house. Look at this. You got cigarettes in an open flame this close to propane. My G did not care. And he had bars on the windows. Grandpa Sam had some issues.
They were both pretty intense.
Clearly.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
I didn't get to see that peephole from the other side. Oh, that's because this is probably locked off. This is locked off. That's the 3rd floor. It just kept building onto the house. This is hella dark. Sorry if y'all can't see. Okay. Yep, so remember, Sam enlisted at 18. Look at the moon. Pretty. interesting that he only has his name on his helmet and not a nickname. Because if he was a Marine, I would think he would have his nickname on his helmet, but that's just me.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? We'll never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's
Odin
the
got his own park.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
And yes, I am taking the pictures. It's very cool.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
To tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad,
Let me get behind you.
do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Sometimes I get stuck here.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Okay, babies, if babies going through things bother you, step away now. Come back in about 10 minutes. Maybe 7 or 8.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Got a lot of medals and a lot of weapons. MREs. Grandpa Sam was going through things. He was going through something.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
More little toys in the crawl space. Again, step out now. 'Cause here we go.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Yep, it's what you think it is. It is what you think it is.
Back over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
Ah.
I know how silly it sounds. But I'm worried about a baby being too happy. But I can feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh, little baby. Damn. And just like her father before her, this girl and her brother had to share space with a dead sibling. Ooh-wee.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Yep, we are scooping up all the letters.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart Just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
A happy ending? In a way. Oh, let's look at the thing if we can. No, we can't. Take a long time to see it. I mean, I guess passing on is like the happiest ending any of us get.
Talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I don't want to just say no.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Gus was a G. Or he also had a death wish too. Because I cannot imagine doing that to one of my African American parents.
But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
It's like Katamari.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
13. If my math is correct, that's 13 years, right? Gus looks like Mr. Humphreys from Are You Being Served? Oh, girl, why they got, like, Foot Lockers? It's all dreary and like an army barracks, and look up there, it's all colorful and fun. Oh, and they hung up his kite. Wow. With sympathy. More cards. Emergency evacuation, which you should have in case of a fire. I'm not mad at Grandpa Sam for that. Raise flag, 7:30. Breakfast, 8 a.m. Quiet time, 11 p.m. Duties, Dawn, sweep, trash, Gus, mop, mow yard, Greg, mow that yard? First of all, what is there to mow? Because it's all like native grasses and weeds and stuff. What is he mowing? Greg, be a baby. Routine, jump rope 100 times, jumping jacks 150, push-ups 100, crunches 100, run to mailbox and back. Child, I guess.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
And she's pregnant, y'all. Climbing all this stuff. She's pregnant. I understand that she's 17. But girl.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Look at her and Gus. And Gregory. Girl, the appropriation of this, I'ma let it go.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Featuring the ghost, a mess. Well, look at Dawn. I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. It's just a game. But you know what I want to say. Fly to India, June 1987. 10 ways to teach critical thinking. Now, mind you, they moved back to this house, and she left all of this stuff here. I mean, this loft is kind of fly, though. Not gonna lie.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Woo. Way up here. 22 weeks pregnant. And way up here. I'm not nobody's pregnant, and this could not be me.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Lewis got cans.
And to see kids in the house again.
Milton has pots. Edith's stuff at least grew a lot with some structure. And Dawn has little seedlings, I guess. I wonder where all that bamboo is coming from.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Lewis rules. I don't see a Milton desk. So they must have got homeschooled like their entire quote unquote educational careers. Our family history, fact or fiction? Good question. Milton ain't got no work. To teach and to learn. Dawn French, 7 ways to create a fulfilling classroom. That, the religiosity and the homeschooling, hate to say it tracks. The missionary trips, it all tracks. Relief efforts end in disaster. I've never seen that. Hundreds of relief volunteers are injured or dead after the effects of a second earthquake. Huh. Okay, I guess it's a shrine. Scientific method. Observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment, data, conclusion. A lot of family worship in this classroom. The curse, quote unquote. I wish I could read that.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Look at that. And we started from the bottom. Now we here, not quite, because there's more to go. Yeesh.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
So this is Milton. He's the one who disappeared. But being so high up, like, could he have fallen? Historic American newspapers now available.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
So you can flip this flip book frame by frame. That is probably the coolest thing I have ever seen in a video game.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So your brothers died all around you. Your son disappeared.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Your husband died in a disaster. Your father died while you were on a hunting trip together, messing with a deer you shot.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Your uncle was hit by a train. Your other uncle flew off a swing set. Your aunt was murdered. And then your other aunt was potentially poisoned. Can I not go up here? What's tea?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Blamed himself for what? I still don't understand that line.
After
Look at
he
this.
graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Look at this. Would you ever walk on this stuff? Even in the folly of being 17. Ain't no way.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
And we're just gonna throw a boat on the house. And mind you, all of this is being built after Sven is dead. This is Edie adding this stuff on the house. Old ass Edie. She ain't no architect. I ain't seen her draft no blueprints. She don't have no table saw. That, or they have like a contractor, like the dude Giselle Bryant hired to just like put stuff on the house.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Baby, how much weed do you have in here? Quality cigars. You got a few little nugs.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Phrasing. Nice TV for 2010, though.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Keep in mind, her father is Sanjay. Now, I never heard any of them mention being part Indian ever before. A lot of pill bottles. Again, with the beer. He was a gamer, clearly. More bowls. More books. Gorgeous view.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
I forgot how to do this. I have to behead these fish, and I forgot how to do it.
Part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
So y'all, I have to behead these fish and do this at the same time.
He said he started small.
It never gets easy.
Could feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
Oh, it's a dragon. It's a dragon.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss, but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
This is hard to do. This is so hard.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
A dog in your imagination.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
So Louis is sick, and he's imagining all of this stuff.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Ooh.
He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Remember, I'm steering with the left stick and chopping with the right.
St. Louis.
St. Louis is great.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
That's a weird line. Even as his mother kept pleading with him, but the letter is to his mother. And now the field division is bigger.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a...
Let's go for Beautiful Prince.
Beautiful Prince. The prince was on his own quest for...
I mean, let's keep to the theme. Radiant rainbows.
Radiant rainbows.
Can we go through all of them? Nope, we're gonna knock them down. That's okay. I cannot steer and chop fishums.
He followed the sound of his...
We're gonna veer to the left. Sitar. We like a
Electric
good sitar.
sitar.
He is Indian after all. Let's see if we can hit all the notes.
His
Okay.
chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Now I can't see anything. Ooh, I have to hope I know what this is. Wait.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
And now it's just routine. This is wild.
someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then
But
it
look
struck
how nobody has
that
a
the real
face.
Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
So what is this called, y'all? Or you just daydream so deeply that you think it's real.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
And I want to know if this is actually how fish get processed. Because this is nasty. Just piles and piles of salmon
and
and
tuna.
tuna.
The man with a royal contempt.
That's why we ran out of crab legs now. I mean, there's other things. Look at this poor baby, y'all. He ain't even moving no fish. Look at this poor baby. He ain't even chopping nothing.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Lucid dreaming, is that what it is? I don't know.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
And don't none of his friends have faces, though?
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
And the cat is named Molly. Ooh-wee.
His prince waiting, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
And still more to go.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
There is full plumbing and electrical all the way up here. If you're 11, eating like that, I know kids are messy, but at 11, they ain't eating like that.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
That's who was doing all the traveling. Dawn, that's her going to Paris. She took all the jewelry though. Left several rosaries behind. She was like, this place needs it more than I do. Yes, let's say a quick prayer. Oh God, you have called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love is supporting us through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And I ain't even religious like that, but y'all need an anointing and a healing on this house from somebody. Some good vibes.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Some salt around the perimeter.
Maybe
something.
We should have come sooner.
Now, what would have happened if any of these people had like broken their leg and stuff?
But it had to end one way or another.
Ain't nobody disabled up in here.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Except for Edie, I guess, because she had the little chair lift thing on the stairs. Girl, they need to knock the house down. I'm surprised they haven't. Maybe it's more expensive to tear it down than it is to just leave it there to rot and return to nature. That's what I imagine.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are
Edith,
very specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it?
I want
the
some Chinese
grown-ups
food.
have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our
I'm
last...
not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Can I see the kitchen? No.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
If the power was off, then why is the power on all these years later?
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
We got some factual errors.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Edith, are you an unreliable narrator? Because that sure looked like electricity when you were in this house. And here goes the library. So is that what this is all we saw? Just this wall of books through the peephole? Maybe I should have. And there's a lot of candles around, a whole lot of paper.
Isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
Got a bed in here.
I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
That's cold.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
This is a tsunami, ma'am. Why would you go out here?
I'd go back to it.
Cause like this water is coming back.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things.
There's that deer again.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Beds, chairs. What is that? A sideboard? Books? Ovens, pots,
or maybe
tables.
I came back to them.
Sewing machine. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The house came, not the fencing. How is there a fence? I never even thought about that before. Why would there be a fence? It would be different if you built the house here.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Child, I'm literally like pulling against this woman trying to get this book.
But Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
I used to do this.
We both tried to make the best of it.
As a kid.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
Look at the lace and stuff.
Quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
October 2016.
And then I was alone.
So a few days ago would have been the anniversary of her death,
The last
October
Finch
20th.
left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
All right, so what do y'all think? I tried to turn the volume down just a little bit. That was What Remains of Edith Finch, y'all. I'm gonna let the credits play and we can wrap a little bit. Curious to know what you think of the game. What your thoughts are. The credits are actually pretty cool. Worth watching. So yeah, y'all, it's heavy, it's spooky, but it's a lot to think about, right? Milton is all over the place. Okay, so we have T-minus, what is the 23rd? A few more days to Halloween. It's next week. I think we might play a few more spooky things in the coming week. Of course, we'll play more Dreamlight Valley. That's definitely on the schedule, as the old folks say. I'm thinking about playing The Wolf Among Us, since that's about fairy tales and the seedy side of them. The credits ain't so bad. They're not so bad. Look at the baby, Alvin Nelson. Adorable. Now we have Barbara's part of the house. These pictures are so cute. It's so funny to look at what people have like in childhood pictures that kids today wouldn't have. So like that phone picture you would never see. These babies don't even know what a landline is. We don't put babies in walkers anymore. It's just interesting to see what's changed, you know? Barbara, Calvin, and what's his name? Walter. And baby with a toy gun. Back when you could make toy guns look like real guns. That's when you know it's back in the day, because you couldn't really do that now without risking your child getting shot. And this dude got on the hard bottom stride rights. I see you, Jordan. I want to be a playtester. I want my name in the credits. Apparently, I'm supposed to be in the credits for Coral Island, but we ain't never gonna get there for a million years. So we'll see it one day, I guess. Ready, set, dead. Trick or treat, smell my feet. Scarred for life, too. Yeah, I think we all might be a little scarred after playing this. We might be a little scarred, and that's okay. We made it. We made it to the end. And they're going to tell us so. Look at that. We made it. And that's that on that. What remains of Edith Finch, y'all. From beginning to end. We made it through. We saw the little babies. We saw the adults. Woo-wee. Anyway, y'all, this was a blast. This was fun. Like I said, I hadn't played it in a while. Couldn't quite remember the controls, but you get them sooner or later. I highly recommend that you play it, because even though you see somebody else play it, it's not the same as you doing it, because you literally have to figure out how to work the controls. And it's really different whether you use a controller or a mouse. It's pretty cool. All right, so we are going to wrap it up here. Tomorrow is Monday. We got work things to do. I hope everybody is able to relax. Christopher just gonna die. Christopher who? Wait a minute. Christopher the fish? She said, what remains of me? Christopher been gone. If you're talking about the fish. Remember, homegirl was gonna eat him. And you see, Edie didn't water her plants. So I'm sure she just let Christopher just go by the wayside. Or she flushed him or something. I don't know. But girl, Christopher is gone. The gerbil is gone. Oh, her son. Her son. What's her son's name, Christopher? I never even paid attention to that. I'm glad you caught that. Me and my ADHD brain, I didn't even catch it. It'd be funny if she named him after the fish, though. That would actually be hilarious. Because, look, they got a whole thing with naming the cat after the daughter. And then the cat came back and was advising Lewis in his lucid dreams. And, ooh, this family is a lot. So I guess the thing to think about here is whether or not they were actually cursed. Or if, I don't know, if Edie is just telling the stories in this fantastic way. Listen, he could be named after the fish. You know, she's telling these stories in a fantastic way to make sense of it. Because we saw the fairy tale book by her bed, right? Or, you know, and granted, like I said, Edie is married to Sven. Sven's last name is also Finch. So, if Odin is Edie's father, but not Sven's father, is Sven Edie's cousin. And her first cousin, meaning she's married to her uncle's son and Odin's brother's son. It's a mess, child. That's a whole mess. Anyway, all right, y'all, we're going to pack it in for the weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for kicking it. Thanks for sitting through the Let's Play. Hopefully it wasn't too rough on y'all, especially Polo Baby Gregory. So cute. And yeah, we'll see y'all, I think, Tuesday for some more Dreamlight Valley. And again, hopefully we can meet our homegirl Ursula. We can get through the gates of hell to make it to the beach. And we're going to see what we're going to see. All right. Peace.